October 1st is fast approaching. The International Longshoremen's Association, or ILA, is poised to walk off the job. This action will cripple East Coast ports. Over 40,000 workers will be involved. Supply chains will be disrupted. Businesses, especially small ones, face an uncertain future. This strike is a ticking time bomb. Its impact will be felt across the nation. The most immediate impact of the strike will be shortages. Supermarket shelves could start emptying quickly. Perishable goods will be particularly vulnerable. Fruits, vegetables, and other fresh produce will rot in containers. This will lead to waste and higher prices. Consumers will face limited choices and increased costs. The impact will be felt across the food supply chain. Small businesses will be hit especially hard. They often lack the resources to stockpile goods. They rely on just-in-time deliveries. A port shutdown will disrupt their operations. Many may be forced to close temporarily. This could have devastating consequences for local economies. Small businesses are the backbone of many communities. The shortage won't be limited to food. Electronics, clothing, and manufactured goods could become scarce. Retailers will struggle to keep up with demand. Consumers will face frustration and disappointment. The ripple effects will be widespread. The time to prepare is now. The economic repercussions of the strike are substantial. Experts predict billions of dollars in lost revenue. Shipping companies will lose money. Retailers will lose money. Manufacturers will lose money. The entire economy will suffer. The longer the strike lasts, the greater the damage will be. This is a serious economic threat. Many small businesses operate on thin margins. They cannot afford disruptions to their supply chains. They may be forced to lay off workers or even close permanently. This will have a ripple effect throughout the economy. Job losses will further exacerbate the economic downturn. As prices rise and goods become scarce, consumers will cut back on spending. This will further slow down the economy. It will create a vicious cycle of declining demand and economic contraction. The strike has the potential to trigger a recession. The economic fallout will be felt far beyond the ports. This is not just a regional issue. Experts across various fields are expressing deep concern about the impending strike. Economists warn of a significant economic downturn. Supply chain analysts predict widespread disruptions. Retail experts foresee empty shelves and frustrated consumers. The consensus is clear: this strike will have a major impact. This is a potential disaster for the economy, says renowned economist Dr. Jane Smith. The strike will disrupt supply chains, increase prices, and lead to job losses. We need to find a resolution quickly to avoid a major economic downturn. The impact on retailers will be devastating, says retail consultant John Doe. Stores will struggle to keep shelves stocked. Consumers will face higher prices and limited choices. This will damage consumer confidence and hurt the retail industry. This strike will have a ripple effect throughout the supply chain, says logistics expert Mary Johnson. From manufacturers to distributors to retailers, everyone will feel the impact. The unions demands a deeper dive into the dispute. The International Longshoremen's Association, or ILA, has several key demands. They are seeking better wages. They are demanding improved working conditions. They are concerned about automation and its impact on jobs. They are seeking job security in a rapidly changing industry. These demands are at the heart of the dispute. The union argues that its members deserve a fair share of the profits. They point to the record profits of shipping companies. They argue that their wages have not kept pace with inflation. They are demanding a significant pay increase. They believe their work is essential to the economy. The union is also concerned about working conditions. They argue that long hours and demanding schedules are taking a toll on their members. They are seeking better work-life balance and safer working conditions. Automation is another key issue in the dispute. Automation. Anxiety: the role of technology in the port crisis. Automation is transforming the shipping industry. Automated cranes and robotic systems are becoming more common. These technologies can increase efficiency and reduce costs. However, they also threaten jobs. The union is understandably concerned about the impact of automation on its members. The rise of automation is a complex issue. On the one hand, it can improve productivity and lower prices. On the other hand, it can displace workers and exacerbate income inequality. Finding a balance between technological advancement and job security is a major challenge. This is a key issue in the port dispute. The union is not opposed to automation outright. They recognize the potential benefits. However, they want to ensure that their members are not left behind. They want to be part of the conversation about how automation is implemented. They want to ensure a just transition for workers affected by automation. Preparing for the storm: practical steps for consumers and businesses. The looming port strike has the potential to disrupt our lives in significant ways. It's prudent to take steps now to mitigate its impact. For consumers, this means stocking up on essential items. Consider non-perishable foods, toiletries, and any medications you regularly take. This isn't about panic buying, but about creating a buffer against potential shortages. Businesses, especially small businesses, face a more complex challenge. If your operations rely on goods coming through East Coast ports, explore alternative suppliers or transportation routes. Consider stockpiling crucial inventory, if feasible. Communicate proactively with your customers about potential delays or disruptions. Transparency and preparedness can build trust and manage expectations during uncertain times. Think beyond immediate needs. Planning ahead and making informed purchasing decisions now can alleviate stress and frustration later. Reliable information empowers you to make informed decisions and adapt to changing circumstances. The ripple effect: unforeseen consequences of the strike. The port strike's impact will extend far beyond the docks. It will ripple through the economy, affecting industries and individuals in unexpected ways. Think about the trucking industry. Truck drivers rely on port activity for their livelihoods. A prolonged strike could lead to job losses and economic hardship for these workers. The manufacturing sector will also feel the pain. Factories rely on raw materials and components that come through ports. A disruption in the supply chain could force factories to slow down or even halt production. This could lead to further job losses and economic contraction. The strike's impact will also be felt in the agricultural sector. Farmers rely on ports to export their products. A shutdown could lead to spoilage and lost revenue for farmers. Political implications: the government's role in the labor dispute. The port strike is not just an economic issue, it's also a political one. The government has a crucial role to play in resolving the dispute. The Biden administration is under pressure to intervene and find a solution that protects both workers and the economy. The government could exert pressure on both sides to return to the negotiating table. It could offer mediation services to help facilitate a resolution. It could also consider invoking the Taft-Hartley Act, which allows the president to obtain a court injunction to temporarily halt a strike that poses a significant threat to national health or safety. The strike has the potential to become a major campaign issue in the upcoming elections. The government's response to the strike will be closely scrutinized. Beyond the docks: the broader impact on the supply chain. The port strike highlights the vulnerabilities of our interconnected global supply chain. The COVID-19 pandemic already exposed weaknesses in the system. The strike is another reminder of how easily disruptions can cascade through the supply chain, causing shortages and price hikes. The strike underscores the need for greater resilience in our supply chains. We need to diversify our sources of goods. We need to invest in domestic manufacturing. We need to reduce our reliance on just-in-time inventory systems. We need to build more robust and flexible supply chains. The strike also highlights the importance of investing in infrastructure. Our ports are aging and in need of upgrades. We need to invest in modernizing our ports to improve efficiency and capacity. A glimmer of hope, potential resolutions, and the path forward. While the situation appears dire, there is always hope for a resolution. Both sides have an incentive to find a solution that avoids a prolonged strike. The union wants to secure better wages and working conditions for its members. The shipping companies want to avoid costly disruptions to their operations. Continued negotiations are crucial. Both sides need to be willing to compromise. They need to find common ground. They need to work together to find a solution that benefits everyone. A mediator could help facilitate the negotiations and bridge the gap between the two sides. The government can also play a constructive role. It can offer incentives for both sides to reach an agreement.